Let me ask you something. If motivation really worked the way we think it does, why do most people quit after just 2 weeks? Here's the uncomfortable truth. 99% of people fail not because they're lazy, but because they're following the wrong rulebook. The crazy part? There's one shift, the kind that flips your brain like a switch, that the 1% already know. Stick with me, because once you hear it, you'll never look at motivation the same way again. Here's the game most of us are unknowingly playing. We chase motivation like a high. A new podcast, a hype video, a speech that makes us feel unstoppable. But then, boom, the buzz wears off. You've been there, right? That's the trap. The real question is, if motivation can't be trusted, what can you trust? I'll show you, but first, let's expose why the old way fails every single time. First mistake, treating motivation like gasoline. You think you need a full tank to start. Wrong. The car can move with just a push. Second mistake, confusing planning with progress. Making lists feels productive, but lists don't move the needle. Action does. Third mistake, waiting to feel ready. Listen, your brain will never magically feel ready. If readiness was the secret, we'd all be crushing it already. Here's the kicker. The people who succeed? They aren't more motivated. They just play by different rules. So, what do the 1% do differently? Here's the first hint. They don't chase motivation, they engineer it. And they do it in a way so simple, so practical, you'll kick yourself for not doing it sooner. Let's peel this back. Motivation isn't fuel, it's friction. Imagine pushing a boulder. The hardest part is the first inch. That's why the 1% don't ask, how do I get motivated? They ask, how do I make starting so easy it's laughable? Want to work out tomorrow? Don't decide tomorrow. Put your shoes by the door tonight. Want to write a book? Open the document, just the blank page, before bed. You've lowered resistance and suddenly that boulder moves. Once you've lowered friction, you unlock momentum. Here's the 2-minute rule. Tell yourself you'll only do the task for 2 minutes. Read 1 page, do 1 push-up, write 1 sentence. Why does this work? Because your brain hates open loops. Once you start, your brain nags you to keep going. That's how small steps snowball into big results. Think of a skyscraper. Everyone admires the shiny glass on the outside. That's motivation. It looks inspiring. But what keeps the skyscraper standing? The foundation. That's discipline and habits. Without that foundation, the building collapses the first time the wind hits. That's why the 1% don't rely on hype. They build their foundation brick by brick. So here's why 99% fail. They chase the shiny glass. They confuse feeling motivated with being unstoppable. But you've just learned the real playbook. Here's your challenge. What's the tiniest action you can take today? So small it feels silly not to do it? Comment it below. That's your first brick. Because remember this, 99% wait for motivation. The 1% create it. Which side are you choosing today?